Did you ever wonder what strange habits shaped some of history's greatest minds? Behind their genius were quirks that remain striking even in modern times. From scientists and writers to royals and artists, here are 10 bizarre quirks of some famous people, all documented in letters, diaries, or interviews. Let's dive in. 1. Isaac Newton, 1643 to 1727, sleepless alchemy. Isaac Newton, the man who discovered gravity, secretly filled thousands of pages with coded notes on alchemy trying to turn base metals into gold. These manuscripts, rediscovered in Cambridge archives, show he spent decades experimenting. Newton also worked in extreme marathons, sometimes going 3 days without rest before collapsing into 18-hour sleeps. 2. Ludwig van Beethoven, 1770 to 1827, coffee bean counting. Composer Ludwig van Beethoven had a strict morning ritual, coffee made with exactly 60 beans. His secretary, Anton Schindler, wrote about carefully counting them out every day. Beethoven also poured cold water over his head to clear his mind before composing. 3. Charles Dickens, 1812 to 1870, The Midnight Walker. Novelist Charles Dickens was plagued by insomnia. His biographer John Foster described how Dickens walked 12 miles through London at night, returning at dawn. He claimed the silent gaslit streets helped him plot entire novels. Police officers on patrol even recognized him, noting in reports that he was a familiar figure wandering with a notebook. His restless imagination truly never slept. 4. Queen Victoria, 1819 to 1901, endless mourning. When Prince Albert died, Queen Victoria never recovered. According to diaries kept by palace staff, she dressed in black for nearly 40 years, and Albert's clothes were laid out every day as if he might return. Even hot water was delivered for his shaving. Letters from her children show they worried about her withdrawal as she isolated herself from court life for years. Her grief reshaped not only her household, but also the public image of mourning in Britain. 5. Thomas Edison, 1847 to 1931, power naps of genius. Inventor Thomas Edison believed sleep was a waste. His assistants recorded in journals how Edison took only short naps, sometimes staying awake 72 hours straight. Photos even show him asleep on a lab bench, using books as pillows. He insisted his nap system gave him more time to invent, though his staff admitted they couldn't keep up. 6. Sigmund Freud, 1856 to 1939, a cigar obsession. Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, smoked about 20 cigars a day. In letters to friends, he admitted smoking helped him focus. Even after being diagnosed with cancer, he refused to quit, calling cigars indispensable. His biographer Ernest Jones described how Freud endured over 30 surgeries, but always lit another cigar afterward. 7. Nikola Tesla, 1856 to 1943, the power of 3. Inventor Nikola Tesla had an unusual fixation with the number 3. Hotel staff and assistants recalled how he circled buildings 3 times before entering, demanded rooms divisible by 3, and used 18 napkins at dinner. Newspapers of the time described his routines as borderline obsessive. Tesla even confessed in letters that without following these rituals, he felt unsettled and unable to work. Winston Churchill, 1874 to 1965, the bathtub office. Winston Churchill often worked from the bathtub. His secretaries wrote in their diaries about taking dictation while he soaked with a cigar in hand. He also swore by daily naps, which he believed doubled his working power. Guests at his home later recalled the sight of generals and ministers squeezed into a steamy bathroom, notebooks in hand. 9. Alfred Hitchcock, 1899 to 1980, The Egg Fear. The great filmmaker Alfred Hitchcock admitted in a 1963 interview with The Observer that he had a phobia of eggs. He called them disgusting and said he'd never eaten one. Hitchcock explained that a runny yolk revolted him more than blood, which he considered at least dramatic. 10. Salvador Dalí, 1904 to 1989, Dreaming with a Spoon. Surrealist painter Salvador Dalí described in his 1948 book 50 Secrets of Magic Craftsmanship how he used a spoon to catch dreams. He'd nap holding it above a plate, and when it dropped with a clang, he'd wake instantly and sketch what he saw. Friends said they often saw Dalí in cafes dozing with a spoon in hand, always ready to seize an image. From Newton's sleepless experiments to Dalí's dream spoon, these quirks remind us that even history's greatest figures were brilliantly human and wonderfully strange. Which of these eccentric habits do you think was genius and which was just bizarre? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more curious stories.